Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Floor Planner. My name is Bob, and as I always say, I'm here for customer success. I'm here for you all to share with you tons of information about Floor Planner as we keep evolving and advancing, giving you all the latest information on tools. I appreciate that you could join me for our monthly recording where we talk about the updates and features that were added to Floor Planner's platform for the previous month. We'll be talking today about the month of July 2022. Let's give you a quick reminder on where to find these updates, because again, remember, Floor Planner does keep evolving. Its technologies keep changing, just keeps getting better and better. And to always stay on top of that, you might want to go ahead and go onto your Floor Planner platform, as I am right now. And in the upper left-hand corner, there's 4 squares up there. That'll take you to your profile tab. If we select that, at my profile, it tells you all about your account. And you also gain this right-hand sidebar. And with the right-hand sidebar over there, there is a tab in there for new features, which is what we're going to talk about. The most current feature is listed at the top. And if you hit the More button over there on the right-hand side, you will then be taken to this site where all of the updates are actually posted. The programmers over in the Netherlands create these really fantastic snippets in there, these little recordings that will give you a quick overview as to what has occurred and what's gone live inside your Floor Planner platform. You can scroll back in time. This is where we left off last time when we were talking about reporting incorrect items, and photorealistic renders and Matterport conversions and room type menus, all this. You can cruise back, all the way back in the past year and be inspired by maybe some things you might have missed along the way. Take a peek. But most currently, we're going to be talking about the month of July. There is one update listed in there, but it's full of a lot of power and information. So let's take a look at this. This is, I'm going to actually take a moment just to actually read right through this. Project level tweaks, July 11th for last month, 2022. As of today, as of that day, all 3D exports, 3D floor plans, and 3D interior photos are rendered in photorealistic quality by default. This is outstanding. These new 3D renders are now also available up to a massive resolution of 8K. And the best of all, it's a lot cheaper and faster than before. Very true. About a month ago, we made our new render engine available for testing, did a great beta test on that, and the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. And my personal interaction with it has been great. Over the last weeks, we continue to improve the render engine and fix issues in our product catalog, make sure the compatibility, everything was good. We are now happy to announce that from now on, all 3D exports are rendered with our new render engine by default. This is your photorealistic render engine. And if you still need a little bit more time to adjust, no worries. The old render engine is still available via your export menu down in the lower left-hand corner. Photorealistic 3D exports were previously only available via the level 4 project level. And we're limited to HD quality. With our new render engine, we are making photorealistic renders accessible for all projects and are offering much higher export resolutions than before. To make this happen, we had to tweak the current functionalities of the project levels a bit, meaning that all of your renders that you're creating now, there's 3D camera views inside, and send them out for your exports, they are now all photorealistic. It's not just the option of having to do an upgrade to the level 4, which was previous, where you would have a different rendering engine that would give you a photorealistic quality. All the images were always good, but that was always the superior one. Now, with the new render engine, all across the board, it's photorealistic everywhere. The caveat, the little difference to that is now you can select, they're all equally photorealistic, they're all the same great quality, but you can select what resolution you require, the pixel count, for what size image you're trying to use for your communication. What media are you using? Are you putting it on your iPhone, putting it on your iPad, putting it on your tablet, putting it on a PC, putting it on a giant monitor on the screen, or print materials, also for more marketing materials, highest resolution. So zoom resolution, of course, zooming in on that image is pixel counts. So the quality of the resolution is the difference now. Now you can select that. Everything from the SD, the HD, the 4K, and the 8K. So instead of talking for project levels, you're actually talking resolution levels, if you will. So it's just a little different language as we're going forward. And so, yeah, what has changed, as I just explained? Our new render engine gives you new capabilities, especially for higher resolutions. That's why we simplified the project levels and renamed them to reflect the maximum resolution for the new photorealistic renders at a certain level of unlocks. We also made features like 3D tours, which were inclusive in a certain project level previously, and the space planner. They're all going to be kind of a la carte now at the point. It's 3D tours and space planner, which will be a separate entity that you can go ahead and actually upgrade. It doesn't have to be inclusive in the technical project levels, if you will. So all current levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 that you already have, if you currently have your floor planner account, have had it for a while, they've all automatically been renamed to the SD Lite, SD, HD, 4K, and 8K. The SD Lites for the non-professional accounts, the basic and plus accounts. We've also made sure that all current project levels are getting at least the same, but also more functionality and export quality for the same price. And this chart we're going to go over in just a second. So that's what the announcement was that came back out on the 11th. Maybe to clarify that a little bit, which is the intention of these little video recordings we do on a monthly basis. Let's take a little time with that. I'm going to take a peek real quick down at my little PowerPoint slide that I've got down here. And it's the same information inside here. Just to, again, instead of talking project levels 1 through 4, we're now talking about SD, HD, 4K, 8K, new language. And then there's that SD Lite, standard definition Lite out there. Kind of what we were used to for the non-professional accounts, the basic and the plus accounts that were out there that have this available to them. There's a lot of limitations with that in the sense that those particular accounts, you can only build one floor of a multi-story project. You can only build one design per every one project. Still powerful, but that is a limitation inside there. There's also the floor planner watermark. It's very nice, but it's floor planner's watermark on your renderings when you create them, all as part of the exceptions because this is a free level. But again, the free level is only available to the basic and plus accounts, the non-professional accounts that are out there. When you go ahead and upgrade, which we know using your credits to do an upgrade, also even basic accounts that have no credit being issued to them certainly can go ahead and do pay as you go and actually have minimum quantities of the required minimum purchases. I think it's like 5 credits to go ahead and utilize credits. You can also, as a basic user, actually elevate your project level to a paid project level, which then gains these additional features. So anybody that's also a pro account or higher, you are starting your projects as SDs, SD, standard definitions. These are 2 credits per project. Now, in this whole range of the paid project levels, SD, HD, 4K, 8K, which are the resolution, to try to simplify things a bit, they've all been consolidated as the paid levels at any level have basically the same features all across the board. So with the exception of the resolution, which we just talked about, You can build multiple floors per project on all of these. And the multiple floors, you can go up to 5 different stories, 5 different floors in your 3D model. Your exports, this is where you gain that additional export power. What I like to concentrate on is the PDF export, which you did not have as an SD Lite. As a SD through 8K, you do have the ability to go ahead and send out your 2-dimensional plan as a PDF. And as a PDF, you can send this out not just to get a PDF document back, but you can get it back as specified layout sizes. Talking imperial dimensions, letter size sheet, 8.5 by 11 inches. You can also send it as a ledger size sheet, 11 by 17 inches. You can also send it out as an architectural C size, that's an 18-inch by 24-inch sheet, and even an architectural D size, which is a 24-inch by 36-inch sheet. Send them out scale to fit, as you had the options before, but you can also send them out to sense of scale. Send it out, talking imperial dimensions again, 16th inch equals a foot, or an 1/8 inch equals a foot, really teeny, or send it out as 1/4 inch equals a foot, which is for the USA. We're talking about the pretty much the international sort of standard on interior design documentation for presentations. And if you need something larger, you can send it out as a 1/2 inch equals a foot. You also have the ability to go ahead and save your document, your project as an FML file. An FML file actually is the format specific to Floor Planner. You can actually insert that in another Floor Planner project as you would open it up. It only works within the Floor Planner platform. But for exchanges out there with other platforms, personally, I know Autodesk type products, AutoCAD. I got excited when I saw the DXF export option. So you can actually export your 3-dimensional model, but it's going to go out as a 2-dimensional plan of your 3-dimensional model. And that structural plan of the in 2D format as a DXF coming out of Floor Planner. But you can take that DXF and you can go ahead and actually insert that into, I know we can apply it into AutoCAD for sure. So I'm sure there's other platforms out there as a DXF as the conversion, and gain that access through other platforms outside of Floor Planner. Very valuable for sure. And then, of course, the same is stated straight across the board, with the exception of the changes in resolution. So the standard definition quality resolution that you're getting out as a 360 by 540 pixel count, or the HD for the 5 credits, which takes you up to a 1920 by 1080 pixel count, or the 4K at the 3840 by the 2160 pixel count, or the highest level resolution, the 8K that's out there, of the 7680 by 4320 pixel count. Again, all of these are at the same photorealistic through the same rendering tool, which is the new updated one. But these are the selections for when you want a certain resolution. You can set these when you start a project, knowing what you're going to want for your resolution at the beginning of the project, or during the lifespan of the project. You can go ahead and edit it down the road and change it to a higher level of resolution as you need on a project by project basis. And then, of course, I did mention that the 3D tours, the fully interactive experiences with the virtual reality goggles, the real-time render interactive experiences, which are driven by a hyperlink, which we've had in the past, are still there, but it's as, like I said, as a caveat, a little a la carte sort of entity inside Floor Planner in your export menu that you can go ahead and select that for additional credits as a separate entity, which will be the same also for the space planner that you might want to go ahead and offer to your clients and have that available so they can actually work in the model and make some modifications and changes. Quick visual on just kind of explaining visually, what we just talked about. It is just, they're all of these, the SD, HD, the 4K and the 8K, they are all beautifully photorealistic images. But it's the intensity, this resolution, if you will. That is the only thing that's changing between all of those. And then there's additional upgrades, as I just mentioned, for like the 3D tour, which is available to you out there, is also a matter inside your exports. Let's get out of the PowerPoint presentation, actually go into Floor Planner just for a second. And inside my Floor Planners accounts, find the projects, let's open up something I've been working on. This is a 4K project that I've got out there. My previous video from last month, actually, I don't want to repeat too much of what I've already said in there, because I was talking about different light levels out there. And because the new rendering engine that you're using, which is superior and wonderful for the photorealism results that you're getting, is also more sensitive now to light levels in a good way, because you can now tweak and adjust your light levels. Let's go into our 3D view just for a second. 3D tab. Let's go inside our room. And camera 4. Kind of cool. Got a little view going on outside. There are light fixtures inside this room, and I even have some LED strip lights up above these beams. I've got some recessed can lights up in the ceiling. Those are the lamps or lights inside your room. So always be more conscious about, number one, populating with lamps and lights, but also knowing to adjust those lamps and lights. So going back for a second, back to my 2D view. So you have these light fixtures that are in here. Certainly by selecting them, you have on the left-hand side the ability to turn them on and off. You also have the ability to adjust their dimmer switch. And if you would like to see all of the lamps or lights that you've placed inside a room all at one time instead of selecting them individually, it's down through your multiple designs tab up here in the upper left-hand corner. In multiple designs, there's the design that I'm working with currently. And inside that design, there are light settings, which will give you all of the lights, like a master panel, if you will, of all the lights that are inside your project. So you can adjust them individually here with the on and off toggle switches. And you also have the slider bars in here. So if you have a series of can lights in the room, you might want to make sure that they're all adjusted at the same, and you can see them side by side here and adjust them accordingly and make those changes. So, tweaking your light levels to get the desired result is important, but also certainly working with the sun is really important. So going back into 3D for a second, back to my camera view that I'm working with. This is camera view number 4. Great, it's on there. I've got the sunshine coming in through the window down here. Certainly you do have the sundial down here in the lower left-hand corner that you can go ahead and adjust the angles of your sun. You skirt the little sun around the outer edge of the white circle, which is kind of the atmosphere of the Earth. You can change the positioning, the angle that the sun's coming in. And if you start pushing towards the center of the white circle, you're talking more like 12 noon where the sun's above your head. So it's time of day. So if you go out to the outer edge, you'll realize that it's low in the sky, and it allows the sun to come through your window and really pour into your room. Well, that's illuminating with the sun. That's also an important feature, because the sun's also going to bounce off materials and cause a glow. It's the photorealistic intention of your renderings. Very powerful. You have one additional feature that you can tweak the kind of the result of the sun coming into the room. There's the ambient reflective light of the sun for the interior, indoor. That same sun outside the window, outside the glazing here, there's an ambient light outside also. So you can tweak those light levels, and that's going to make some exceptional changes. If you say it looks a little dark, it looks a little too bright, depending on your liking, you can certainly go ahead and adjust those light levels also based on the camera view. So while we're in camera number 4, I've just made some changes to the direction of the sunshine down there. Over on the left-hand side, there's camera number 4. Always remember to hit your update camera to save these changes that you've made. You've got to communicate it to the cloud, very important. But you have the light and scenery tab down in the lower left-hand corner. If you hit the light and scenery tab, you have the ability to work with the sunshine, daytime lighting, which is selected right now to be on. If you hit the moon over here on the right-hand side, turns it off. So you can see the sun disappeared because it's technically nighttime. But we want to play with the sun while it's on. So turn the sun on, select the tab. And here's the percentages in here. I could use a slider bar in here, or I could change this numerically. I like to work like 25%, 55, 50%, 75%. I can type that in numerically as 50% if I want to, and hit enter to accept it. So I've taken the sunshine up to 50% for the indoor area, this side of the glass. Very important. Maybe it looks really glaringly bright outside for some reason. So then look at the sun outside. Maybe I would change that percentage, maybe take it a little lower, maybe take it down to 25%. Depends on, again, what's the result? What's actually happening that you do like or don't like, and how do you want to modify that? Tweak it accordingly, indoor, outdoor, very important. Select which one you're working with the sun. And most importantly, save the updated changes. So I'm going to hit the back button in the upper left-hand corner and hit my update camera to make sure that I've sent this new information about my settings for camera 4 out to the cloud. And so let's do the export. Go up to export image. Export image. Current angle is the point and shoot, but we want the specific camera that we've just made the settings changes on. Hit camera 4. So we're on camera 4. We knew we just updated that information. I'm working at a 4K project, so I could send this out as a higher level resolution. I could also unlock the 8K, although I have not upgraded my project to 8K currently, but I could. Remember I said the interactive experiences, I could go ahead and add the 3D tour down here. And if you're still working with the old engine, the old render engine, which I highly recommend you work with the new one because it's so much more beautiful, but the old features are still down here as the standard SD and the photorealistic that you were used to previously. But do please get used to using these in the upper right, upper left-hand corner. If I send this out as an HD and send it out as a 3D, 3D, HD, JPEG, camera 4, ready to go, just go ahead and do your export image, send it out to the cloud, and the render will come back. Again, you have no limit on sending out how many renders you're going to have. So you're going to see the resultant changes of the light level changes that you've made when you get back your rendering, and then you make the determination, is that the desired result you wanted to have achieved? Or go ahead and go back into that camera view, make some edits to the indoor lighting, the outdoor lighting, percentages that are inside there, maybe even your individual lamps or fixtures, and adjust them accordingly. So you can see with this image right now, what do we have as a result? Very photorealistic. Remember, I took my light level of my interior down. So I think I would probably be kicking up my light level in here. I'd go back and tweak this up, although I think this is really actually a pretty good image, and adjust that accordingly. Do I want to kick my light level up or down outside, or also maybe inside, take this light level up higher? That's what you're trying to communicate. Here I can see the LED lights are really cool when I take the light level a little sunshine down inside, but you're in control. You can make those modifications out there, but the photorealism is intense. But the tweaking of those light levels is going to give you a lot of power to make those adjustments to the effect that you want to have at the very end for sure. Any such, that's basically it for today. Appreciate your time. Hope that's given you some clarification on this changeover from the previous levels 1 through 4, which are now stated as the SD, HD, 4K, and 8K, not to forget about the SD Lite back there for the basic and plus users. In the non-professional accounts. So look forward to seeing you at our next month's review of the future updates yet to be occurring inside your platform. Until then, hope you all enjoy your experience with Floor Planner, and hope to see you possibly register for my live webinars. They're still taking effect on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're also on your homepage in the upper right-hand corner. Anytime you want to come on into those, please feel free to go ahead and register, and we'll do some live webinars with you. Otherwise, hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much.